Hello all, welcome to Intermediate DSA. As part of time complexity, let's see a common issue every developer faces: time limit exceeded. Let me put a scene for you. Consider you are applying for some, product based company and it is currently organizing a coding context. You are given two questions and 1 hour of time. You started solving the first one, you got the answer and you submitted, but you have seen time limit exceeded. Now what you do generally, you change the approach and try submitting again, but your time limit exceeded error never goes. By the third time you try submitting again with necessary changes, the context will be over, right? So you generally we directly get into solving the question on the IDE. We forgot about the constraints and the time limit that we have. So let's say I have a beautiful picture here. Let's say you have all the test case passed, but still you see time limit exceeded. Your answer won't be considered. Even if you submit, your answer won't be considered. This is a general time limit exceeded. Now a little talk more about this, why this issue comes and how do you overcome this, right? So any online context that you are appearing for, you have a code executed on the online servers. These online servers, either you take CodeChef or any platform like LeetCode. These online servers will have a processing speed approximately equal to 1 gigahertz. When I say giga, it's a 10 to the power of 9. That means they can perform 10 to the power of 9 instructions per second, right? And generally any code they will expect to execute in 1 second of time. This is any online editor in general, right? Now we'll take one example. Let's say you wrote in first class we discussed the count of factors. Let's try to see how many instructions we are making here. I am talking about the instructions. So count equal to 1 is one instruction. My for is one instruction to the CPU to process. Initializing I is one instruction. Validating the condition is one instruction. Incrementing I is one instruction. Again if is one instruction. Percentile checking is one instruction. And checking, so this itself is having two instructions. And incrementing count is one instructions. So how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Approximately 10 instructions. If I consider for loop, right? If I consider for loop, so this is a small code I am taking. Consider you have 10 instructions, right? For one iteration. Okay, and we have a constraint for 1 second. The system can process 10 to the power of 9 instructions. So can I write this as 10 to the power of 8 into 10 instructions? So 10 instruction is one iteration. So that would be 10 to the power of 8 iterations in 1 second. If you give this code, the system can perform this. And any code that you write, you end up writing how many instructions for a given code? You will end up writing somewhere around 100 instructions. Let's take somewhere around 100 instructions. So 1 second approximately is equal to 10 to the power of 7 iterations, right? In 1 second it can perform 10 to the power of 7 iterations. So in the question you will see constraints of n something like 1 less than or equal to n less than or equal to 10 to the power of 6. That means they are saying your iterations should be inside 10 to the power of 6, right? And consider you end up writing more than 100, right? Nevertheless, that is maybe less than 1000, right? So in conclusion, what I wanted to tell is, let's say in order for my code to get executed, my code time, if I want less than 1 second, maximum iterations, right? Maximum iterations can be in the range, right? 10 to the power of 7 to 10 to the power of 8 iterations only. So we discussed so many problems. We discussed how to find iterations, right? We know the order of iteration. Actually, we discussed about order of n square, or how do you find this, what is asymptotic analysis, all these things we discussed. We came to a generalized way of solving any asymptotic analysis, big O. Take that complexity. Now take the constraint, try to use this in this constraint. Let's say if your solution is order of n square and your constraint is 10 to the power of 6. So that means order of 10 to the power of 6 whole square, that is around 10 to the power of 12 iterations. If in the question they give 10 to the power of 6, you should never go with order of n square, because 10 to the power of 12 is much greater than 10 to the power of 8. So anywhere between you are seeing, see what I am saying, if your iterations is falling below 10 to the power of 7, it's clearly green. Yeah, you can go for it. If your iterations is falling above 10 to the power of 8, you might surely you'll get time limit exceeded. If your iterations is somewhere around this one, maybe. So first you form your approach, you see how many constraints are there, then you decide which approach to go. You might have 1, 2, 3 approach, and if it is falling less than 10 power 7, please go for it. Surely go for it, right? If it is falling around 10 power 7 or 10 power 8, maybe you have to think and you have to check. I am not sure here, maybe TLE can occur, but if it is above 10 power 8, surely you will get time limit exceeded.